Thank you for continuing on to part two. This is our grading scale. It is the same as Cascade Middle School, so that will not be new to your student next year when they get to Cascade High School. We do have an 18-week cumulative grading period. So your student's grade will be figured from August until Christmas with just an ongoing score that you would view in Power School. That makes up 85% of their semester grade. And then 15% is their final exam, which could be a cumulative test, could be a final project. It will vary from class to class. When the semester ends in December, that will figure their semester grade, and the same will happen again end of May, beginning of June, at the end of second semester. Those are the only two grades that count. Those are the ones that go on their transcript permanently, will become a permanent part of their school record, and are the only two grades that are used in calculating a grade point average. The numbers, the 4.00, 3.67, and so on, are the numbers that we use in figuring a student's grade point average. Cascade High School also does weight some classes, anything that is a pre-AP course, an AP course, as well as physics. Those are weighted courses. You can find that information in the curriculum guidebook. If your student's semester grade is a B- or above in those, we'll use the formula that you see to add a little extra onto their grade point average to give them an incentive for taking those more challenging courses. Okay, on the green scheduling worksheet that your student brought home from me, at the top in purple, I put their name that is shown in Power School. I asked them in pencil above their name if they go by a nickname or something that they would like for me to use to write that in. So if their given name is Madison, they go by Maddie. Then I know how they spell it and what it is that they on a daily basis go by. I also asked them to circle their diploma type. That's their goal that they are seeking. That can change. It can change throughout high school as we continue to look at their goals and what successes they're trying for after graduation. So, an ongoing conversation. I have made selections on their green paper for English, math, science, social studies, and some added information about physical education. For English, math, science, and social studies, I've circled their choice in purple. Those selections were made from looking at them in Power School, former grades, what it looked like with work ethics and habits, from are they completing homework, are they doing well on tests, and in conversations with their current teachers from 8th grade, made those selections. If I have a question mark above it, typically you would see that in math or science. That is, I'm not sure at this point from what I know and can tell and see if they should go on to the next level or if maybe they should go back and retake a course they're currently looking at. So those would be things to have conversations with your student about. If you want to get in touch with me, by all means do so. An example of where this may come up would be in a math sequence. If they're on an advanced track, they have a B-, C+, something like that in math from first semester. There may need to be some discussion as to should they go on in their advanced coursework or do they need to take that course again so that they have a stronger skill set and base. And we can have that conversation if you need to have more information from me. We may make decisions now, and then based on what happens the rest of the semester for your student, those decisions may need to change. You may see improvements, you may see declines, you may see some anxiety or nervousness about going on to high school. You may see some maturing in your student, and maybe they need to advance more. So contact me as those concerns arise. For physical education, your student may have a check mark, and I have circled the word completed. There are a number of students that have completed their physical education high school requirement while in 8th grade, so you may see that on their green paper. I may also have just underlined it, which means they still need to complete that requirement. All students do need to have 2 general physical education credits in order to graduate, no matter what type of diploma they are seeking. Students can earn that by taking a class, so that would be one thing that they could circle during their school day. They could also earn that by participating in an alternative PE credit, where they earn that through participating in a sport while in high school. That sport can be freshman, JV, or varsity level. They earn the credit by completing a sport season successfully. There is a form that they have to have their coach complete at the end of the season. The student is responsible to do that on their own and return the form to the guidance office. I can only give a student a credit for one sport. If they need to have 2 PE credits and they only play one sport, they can't play that sport twice to receive 2 PE credits. It would need to be 2 different sports. I do have students that will mix and match. They play one sport and they take the class for one semester. It does have to be an IHSAA sport. If you have any questions about this, again, don't hesitate to ask. On the green scheduling worksheet for world language, I've circled for them to continue in a world language if they have already begun. It's possible your student may want to begin a world language next year, or maybe they want to wait until grade 10 or not include world language at all in their studies. Those are all options. If your student does have a goal of an academic honors diploma, please note they do have to have at least 3 years of a world language at some point in time in their high school career. Students may want to take a study hall. I would encourage that if your student wants to do that, to make sure, just as I had told them, the expectation is that they are very successful with their grades. Typically, if students are doing well in their courses, having study hall will not hinder them from graduating on time. They do not receive credit for having a study hall. Fine arts classes, if students want to continue in band, choir, the arts, or in participating in student media, they could earn fine art credits from those. Again, if your student's goal is an academic honors diploma, they do need to complete 2 fine art credits before graduation. On the back of their green sheet is information about the electives that are available to them in grade 9. It will help you when looking through the curriculum guidebook in selecting these electives. Some students are interested in online summer school. We do partner with a vendor for this. It is not mandatory in order to graduate on time. But if your student is interested in online summer school and you want to know more about this, then please feel free to contact me and we'll see if it's a good fit for your student. The scheduling worksheet, the green worksheet, will now be due February 8th. So I'm extending that 1 week to Mr. Nielsen. So please make sure that it gets completed and turned into him by Friday, February 8th.